right, everyone. Welcome back. We're on the Performance Matters podcast. Coach Matrixx, myself, joined by Coach Myles, as always. We're here at IPC in studio. First, big shout out to a couple sponsors here. First off, this episode is brought to you by Arm Performance Center, Niagara's premier strength conditioning facility located at 423 Lakeshore Road, right here in St. Catharines in the Niagara region. Secondly, big shout out to Pete Method Photography, the premier sportsographer in the Niagara region. Make sure you reach out, www.petemethodphotography.com. And as always, support local. And finally, guys, if you haven't already heard a bunch of our episodes, we always like to start things off by saying there are two types of people in this world, subscribers and non-subscribers. So you might as well join the cool kids. Like, subscribe, share, follow, all that great stuff. And make sure you can keep up to date with all the greatest stuff in the Performance Matters podcast, because we want to keep bringing you great content every week. Rants, raves, revelations, hot topics, and debates. So make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. So I guess we'll talk about, first off, good job to the River Lions, beating Calgary. That was like a finals rematch from last year. I didn't get a chance to look at the roster though for Calgary. I'm sure like there's some changes, just like there are some changes for us, but I think the boys did a good job. We're kind of down for the first few couple quarters, but we kind of pulled it off in the fourth there. I think we actually had a pretty 10-point lead going into target time, I believe. Did you watch it?
Yeah. Being able to come from behind and then, like you said, heading to target time was awesome.
Yeah, I think apparently like Aiden said, all the boys were excited to get the post game lift. And I mean, it gets hard not to. I guess you're fired up. You're like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I can get ready for Montreal on Friday. I think we have Montreal on Friday. Pretty sure it's Montreal at home. But yeah, good job to them. Keep crushing it. It's still early in the season. Long runway to go. It's gonna be a long road ahead of us. But I think the boys are off to a great start. So
absolutely,
shout out to them. Me and Justin were talking the other day about. I think we were talking about internships. I think that came up. I don't know what we were talking about. I think we were just, driving home on the phone. And we're talking about internships. And I think we're talking about how newer coaches is trying to get knowledge education. I know we've talked about this stuff previously, but I think one thing she was like, well, a lot of internships or volunteer positions, are paid positions. And my argument, I think, is the same argument maybe you would have, but it's, well, we spent years of time, accumulating knowledge and experience, right? So it's if someone is eager to learn more about the profession itself, then it's kind of got to be a two-way street, right? So it's you're, the person who's looking to learn, they show up, they get hours, and a lot of times it's associated with a co-op, right? So they get placement hours or credits for their degree or whatever their certification is. And in return, the staff, us, dedicate time every week to make sure we sit down and we go through our material, our curriculum, and assess things, how things are going, and provide guidance in that respect, right? And I get both sides of the argument. You know what I mean? They're allocating their time and everything to help out. I'm yes, my counter argument is well, if you're paying someone, right? If you put someone on staff, that means they can work independently of, a supervisor or something in terms of doing the role, right? If an intern's on the floor, assisting or helping out, we're not leaving them to their own devices to just do whatever we tell them to do and just kind of go do our thing or, work on something else we're working on. That's a disservice to our people, right? They're not qualified yet. They're not quite experienced yet. And there's too much gray area, I think, to let things kind of fall through the cracks. So that's my argument. It's going to be well, yes, they're getting their coaching hours. I guess you could say they're helping for sure. Hey, they're assisting, they're, working with us and leading some things, but it's never under independently. It's never just on their own. Hey, you have this person, go do your thing. They're responsible for that person. It's, yes, we have to allocate our time to essentially supervise them doing their thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So that would be my argument for that. I think, I don't know if it's an industry thing kind of shifting towards well, hey, if you could pay interns, absolutely. Right. I guess I don't know what their operational costs are and everything else like that. But for us, it's well, I kind of stand by the fact that, hey, if you're eager to learn and essentially take knowledge from us investing tons of money into our own education, to our own certifications, to our own continuing education and experience, and then, we take all that, we put it into our curriculum and we give them resources, we give them case studies, we assess them on things, we guide them on things. And then to say yeah, we're going to essentially pay them to learn from us. That's crazy because us as professionals trying to learn more, we're paying for other coaches' time to just hop on a call and chat it up with us, or we're taking a course, we're spending money on taking our courses. So it's why is it okay for say, seasoned coaches to go and invest money in their own education to learn from someone else. But for new coaches coming up, it's almost like the other way around. Like they should get paid to learn from coaches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's going to sound a little bit harsh, okay? But just hear me out, audience. So a lot of the interns will come in and say something like, I know my worth. You guys got to pay me something because I know my worth. Okay. And I'm not saying your worth as a human. I mean, yes, you're valuable. We're all valuable. But I'll say, okay, like, so then what is your worth then? Like, go ahead and define it for me. If you're going to ask me or you or whoever to pay them, like, what is your worth? And a lot of time they'll say things like, well, I have a degree. Or a lot of time they don't even have a degree yet. Oh, I'm working towards a degree. That is amazing. Okay. It doesn't tell you anything though, unfortunately. Sorry to tell you. Who have you trained before? Well, nobody, like, but I really like going to the gym. Like, people think I'm probably exaggerating, but these are the answers we get, right? In these interviews. Well, I've played a lot of sports in my life. Okay, that's great. And then a lot of time, what happens when you give these interns their first opportunity to like lead a warm-up even, or like lead a exercise demo, by no fault of their own, because they've never done it, they panic, they freeze. It's tough, because it is tough, you know? Humbly, I think sometimes maybe we make it look easy, but it's hard. And we had a hard time when we started too, right? So it is a very weird mentality to me. I understand the economy sucks. Things are only getting more expensive. I don't blame them for wanting to make an income, okay? But unfortunately, like, again, it's sometimes like you will say, pick who you complain to. Like, I have a hard time sympathizing, because I know when I was in school, I was, thankfully you'll support me and Aiden with our continuing education. But before we ever met, like, I used my OSAP to take precision nutrition and, Clance's course and Joe DeFranco's course. I used my own money, OSAP, while I was working a part-time job, while playing sports, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I invested money that I had to eventually pay back to learn all this shit that I'm now going to teach you for free. Which is kind of what you were alluding to. You don't have to take half these courses now if you don't want, unless you want to get the stupid piece of paper with your name on it, because I'm going to deliver this info to you. So that's why sometimes when they don't say, am I going to make money? Sometimes they say, am I getting paid? I said, oh yeah, you're getting paid. And they perk up. Oh, nice, I'm getting paid. And I say, you're getting paid in experience and knowledge and floor time. And then it's like, oh, it's like deflating.
A dad answer.
then they're like deflating. I'm like, is that not enough for you? Because that's more valuable than you know, right? Tens of thousands of dollars we've invested over and above our, like, degrees aside, not even putting that in there, tens of thousands of dollars in continuing education that you now don't have to spend if you don't want to, because I'm going to give you this information for free. And then I'm going to let you apply it. And I'm going to take my time, your time, Aiden's time, to reflect with you and review how effective you've applied it and give you feedback to apply it better. And like you said, you want me to pay you for that. You want me to pay you for that. Doesn't make sense to me.
Again, I think it's funny how it's normalized for like seasoned coaches to go pay for a conference. To go pay for simply just an hour of a coach's time on a call. You know what I mean? Like,
I've spent hundreds of dollars, thousands.
Like I when I was in a virtual, we were in a virtual business mentorship group for gym owners. It was paying $1,000 a month, not even a month, $1,000 a month. Just which, by the way, was very valuable.
It
was great.
Got our money's worth. No doubt.
Got our money's worth. Absolutely great information, great community of people, great calls. But that was it. Like, you get like whatever it was, like an hour and a half call a month. You get group calls, all those things. So you're accessing people for a couple hours or so a week, plus all their resources, right? Like their library of resources that we can peruse.
Frameworks and
everything else, right? And then it's like, why is that okay? Like, hey, if you're seasoned, like, you're expected to, which makes sense. Like, hey, this person is willing to carve time out of their day to answer your questions or to educate you on questions or things that you're curious about. No different than, hey, you go pay for a conference. It's like $300, $350 American for a ticket. And you got to cover your own expenses to get there, obviously, right? You travel. And then they put on a bunch of lectures from different coaches that will speak right to the audience. And those speakers are paid, right? Like, so it's like, seasoned veterans are like, it's almost normalized, which again, I think it should be like, hey, if you're paying you, if you're curious to learn and you have someone you want to learn from, it's worth their time, because now you're asking them for time out of their day or their knowledge or even their resources. It could be a simple, just access to a collection of the resources. Like, hey, here, I put all my information on this portal, whatever, pay this much a month and you have access to my information. Like, here's all the resources, go ahead, download it, peruse, I'll carve out an hour a month for you. That's fine. Whatever their setup is, you're essentially transacting for, I'm trying to learn. Here's a transaction for your time and all the effort you put into the resources that now I'm benefiting from.
They're making your path easier than their path was.
Exactly. Right? Like, that's the whole point. It's like, learn from their experiences. They bundled it in a way that's digestible that now you can possibly benefit from. So if there's some benefit from their knowledge to you and you're benefiting from it, absolutely they should be compensated for their time.
Yeah.
That's normalized to me, right? Like,
which almost suggests that like the interns should almost have to pay to come and do this
I
internship.
Agree.
Right?
I agree.
But they don't have to. So that they don't see like that. No. The fact that you don't have to pay to come here is the win.
Yes. And my argument to them doing the internship for free, not paying them, not paying us, but here's like why I'm like, this is why a volunteer position makes sense. Here's why it's a volunteer position. One, we're carving time out of our weeks for 3 hours at least to sit down as a group, and you get to go over your case studies. We quiz you on all the material. You ask your questions. We help you. We walk you through all these scenarios to help you be better. So that's time out of our day and the resources that we've spent months and months and months putting together for them to take and benefit from and use in the future. The trade-off is like, well, we're asking for your time. So it's like, hey, if you have to dedicate whatever 12 hours a week on the floor, it's like, yes, you are helping us in some way. You're assisting us. Like, hey, can you help set this person up? Right? Can you help? Hey, you coach this group. I'll watch while I'm over here doing this.
Yeah.
Right. Like they're still being, supervised, but they're also doing some elbow grease work, right? They're in the trenches. They're doing some stuff. So that to me is a trade-off. Like, hey, we will carve out time of our day to help you, and you're carving out time of your day to assist us. That's a fair trade-off to me.
Yeah.
For them to be paid to do that, I'm like, I'd rather just go pay another coach full time and say, hey,
exactly.
You're qualified, you're capable, you can go do these things. And that buys us back our time to go and work on something else.
And you can make the business money. I hate to say it, but
yeah, now it's like benefit, right? So I think in any transactional thing, it's like, it makes sense. Like if there's a potential benefit for someone, then the other person is fairly compensated for the benefit. I think that's more than reasonable, whatever that transactional agreement looks like. It's like, hey, you're an intern. And furthermore, they also get credits for university. They're doing a co-op.
Yeah.
So it's like by showing up and just, you're learning for what things you want to do, but you also get credit towards your degree for learning what you want to do.
Right.
It's like, it's kind of like a double win for you. So don't complain that you're getting course credit and you're also gaining experience, hands-on experience plus resources, and say, well, I want to be paid. It's like, no, I think it's start them off early. It's like, if you're a new coach, be expected to, I think they should reverse it and be like, hey, if you're a new coach, you're going to have to invest in your learning opportunity.
Yeah,
I think it became normalized the reverse way of like, no, like try to pay your volunteers or your new coaches because like, I get it, they're in school and things are tougher and maybe.
Economy sucks. Like I said, I totally.
I get it. But at the very least, I'm like, I'm not going to pay you, but I'm also going to make you pay us for us to carve time out of our days to help you benefit from our years of education, our years of work, our years of learning on our own, right? Like for some people, like I remember Thibodeau? Remember we tried to just inquire and say, how much would like it cost to bring this coach in from Montreal, a very, very well-educated coach who does some phenomenal things in terms of the training world. And we're just like, hey, what if we like, invited some coaches down and he could do a lecture like for half a day? Well, I can't even remember like I
think it was 8 or 10K Canadian.
Yeah. I think it was at least 5 figures for, 5 figures. I think for nothing else for half a day. So like probably like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Right. So let's put this in perspective, people. It's about at least 5 figures for this coach to come to our facility
from Quebec, not even from somewhere far, really.
Right. So to come from Quebec, which again, he can charge what he's worth because people are dying to learn from him. So it's like, hey, he's charging 10 figures for them to come to and lecture on whatever topic that either he decides or you can kind of guide to decide. And he'll put the presentation together for, the group. And that's really a couple hours. Plus, you have to cover his accommodations, you cover his travel, and you cover meals, all that kind of stuff. So pretty much you have to cover his whole trip over, plus pay him that much to do. I'm like, and people do that.
Yeah.
Right? People do that. So it's like, if we as more seasoned coaches in the industry are willing to invest that kind of financial, finances essentially into learning, why is that not expected from new coaches coming to the industry, especially when they have a bigger broad, like a larger larger bandwidth to absorb a lot of things. And then us as seasoned coaches are really trying to like split hairs in terms of how deep down the rabbit hole, certain curiosities, certain aspects. And we kind of reach out to these people that might have more knowledge in that certain realm or that certain experience level just to pick a couple of things. And we're dropping like hundreds, if not thousands of American dollars to just learn for an hour or two. So that is always like my argument. That's why I stand kind of firm on that. It's like, well, we pay for our certs every year. We pay for continuing education, courses, webinars, mentorship groups. If I want to hop in a call with a coach for an hour, it's at least a few hundred American dollars, and rightfully so. Like I support all of my fellow owners in that respect. Like, hey, like if you're carving an hour out of your day, of your schedule for me to benefit, yes, transactional, absolutely. Thank you for answering my questions. Appreciate your time. Phenomenal. I got something from it.
And we work in an industry where like you trade your time for money. So you're taking their time. They literally cannot make money now during that time. Like, of course, you're gonna have to compensate them. And like, let me make it abundantly clear: we are very thankful and grateful for every intern that comes here. So I don't want the audience to get it twisted.
Yeah.
But once they want to, kind of get paid, like adult conversations have to be had.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I think you're always gonna be biased by your own experiences. I had a really good internship that I was thankful for at Laurier, and I wasn't paid. So I think like right from there and I didn't expect to be paid. And the expectations and everything were laid out very clearly. But I think because I wasn't paid and I was just like, man, I got so much value from this. Like that's kind of the standard that was set in my head. Like, why would we be paying somebody? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think it's
in addition to everything you already said.
You pay to go to school.
Yeah.
You pay to go to school to learn.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, okay, well, university is no different. They don't pay you to go learn from them. Like that makes no sense. So again, that's my argument. It's like, well, if you pay to go to school and learn, if seasoned people pay to learn,
yeah,
why is it frowned upon for new people coming to the industry to pay to learn? Right. My counter is going to be, well, you're trading your time.
Yeah.
So it's like, if the coaches will carve out time to help you, you're carving out time in your day to assist them.
Right.
It's a simple trade. Right. And I think that's more than fair. Plus, if they get university credit, it's a no brainer. It's like, well, now you're double winning. You get the experience, you get hands-on stuff, and you get a benefit towards your university degree. Win-win for you. So I think that's what it is. And again, very thankful for all the interns that come through in whatever semesters. We had some great ones. I think some people are doing some great things. And that's the whole point, right? We try to make our internship, whether in the fall or winter semesters, as all-encompassing as possible to help them take a lot of stuff and just turnkey apply it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's like the biggest thing.
We don't know everything. We're always trying to learn. We're always trying to develop and push ourselves forward. But upon graduation of the internship, like you should be able to jump in and have a pretty solid impact on any demographic that you're working with. Gen Pop, athletes, combination of both ideally. Like you should be pretty well equipped to have some massive impact on people's lives.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's, well, you follow Missy Macbeth on Instagram.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah,
I think she's fucking hilarious. Right. Shout out Missy if you actually listen to this. But I think she's fucking hilarious and she's spot on. Like it's very just simple, blunt, no bullshit.
Yeah.
To the point, especially when, again, she gets a lot of DMs and people asking her questions. Right. So it's like, hey, if I'm taking time to, people might send along to like, hey, like, what do you do? Like, can you send me your training thing for this? Or like, what do you do when training people like this, or this? Like pretty like specific scenarios.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, here's my link. You can book a call. Yeah. And that's fair. Like if people are like getting upset with that.
At which point people go, whoa, come on.
I'm just asking. Just one question. It's like, doesn't matter if it's one question or not. It's like,
I'm going to go make money off the info you're giving me, but come on. It's just a question.
Yeah. I think she posted them on her Instagram story like a few days ago, a week or so ago, where someone's like, hey, like, what do you think of this product?
The product. And she's like, I'm not going to make any royalties off it. Like,
yeah. She's like, why am I going to give you my opinion on a product that you're going to benefit from? And I will not benefit from. So you're asking some person that you're not, even if you're like close, but not that close, whatever, you're asking someone to essentially do some work on their end to help you benefit and then them not get anything in return.
Right.
Which I get on occasion, maybe it depends on the context, but in this context, it's like what you're a stranger reaching out to someone who's seasoned, saying like, hey, I love your thoughts on this. I'm thinking about doing like a deal with them. I'm sure you would. It's like, I'm sure you would. So how about we go and chat about it? It costs this much an hour to chat about it. And then if we agree on something, then we'll make an agreement.
Yeah.
Financially.
I'd love to give you my opinions on that.
Yes, here, book a call.
For the small price of
whatever the price is. It's like, absolutely. I think people out there that have some knowledge that people are dying to learn from. Yeah, I think there's times to, educate for free. I have nothing. We provide a lot of resources for free to a lot of people. Like,
and she said that too. I know the story you're talking about.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not evil. Of course, I'll give, especially my close friends and stuff, like feedback and advice. But I think the biggest issue with that was like, it's random people hitting her up.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. Like in our context, like if anyone who doesn't really know of us or like piques curiosity from however they heard of us, Instagram, Facebook, Google, whatever. It's like, hey, if you're looking for just like some stuff that they can kind of sink their teeth into, it's like, well, check our blog. We have a ton of free articles we wrote on a lot of the stuff in training and the science. We have our YouTube channel, which has a bunch of free exercise demonstrations, right? Like pretty much every exercise demonstration that we typically do, they have videos there they can watch and learn what it looks like. We also have free webinars on YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can go ahead and watch those. We have our podcast, which everyone tunes into. So it's like you learn a lot of rants and raves from that. We also have like our performance playbook, which if you go on the website, you can download for free.
Crazy value.
Right? It's like 28 pages of like some in-depth stuff for athletes. It's like, it's right there.
Yeah.
Right. So
if you've exhausted all those educational resources and then you still have questions, then let's chat.
Yeah, then let's talk about
Totally.
it, right? Like if that's service level enough for you, then great, go ahead and do it. But if you're looking for something more, this drives a deeper curiosity and a deeper drive to do something, then yes, we're at your disposal, right? So I think people can have to like change their, or at least have a different perspective on that particular topic. And I guess it just doesn't just apply to internships either, right? But I think anyone that's providing value to someone else and that they're benefiting from, and then people get offended if like, oh, you're asking me for money for it. It's like, well, no, I'm saying like, if you want to talk about this and learn about this, book a call, pay the fee, and then you have an hour of my time to ask all your questions and I'll walk you through it. Like a lot of coaches that are great are doing mentorship groups like through online portals and stuff like that, especially with the technology that is available today. You know what I mean? Like that's a great idea. I think that's phenomenal. Like you have a like-minded community of people that are investing to learn. And the nice part is everyone can learn off each other. It's like, hey, we're all paying to be a part of this elite group of people that are hungry to learn something about a particular topic or, genre, and go ahead and do that. You know what I mean? Like that's the way it should be. And I don't think it should be any different for new coaches. You know what I mean? Especially if like they're getting university credit, or even if they're like, we've never turned anyone away who wanted to be like to learn from us.
No, never.
Right. And I think we've had many instances where people have reached out to us and go, oh, like, I saw this internship. I'd love to learn. Like I'm doing my bachelor's degree over here. I'm in year 3. I'm like, sure, let's hop on a call and I'll learn more about you. And like, that's me taking time out of my day for free to just say, hey, like, sure, I'll tell you more about, here's the website for the internship page, review the details. If it's something you're interested in, then we can chat some more. And then we talk about the hours. Like, yeah, we're hitting minimum 15 hours a week for the semester, right? So it's 15 hours a week, 12, 13 weeks, whatever the internship semester length is for the season. And, they're like, okay, well, what's the schedule? I'm like, well, our schedule is flexible for that. It's like, all we're trying to mandatorily do is we need to find a 3-hour time window in the week where we can sit down as a group to give you the one-on-one time to literally sit up in the war room and just, let's go through the case studies, defend your program. Let's go over the curriculum for this week. Any questions, let's walk through some case studies with it. So like we need that mandatory 3 hours, and we have to kind of find that block where all the coaches can sit down with the interns and be like, hey, this is your 3-hour block. Let's sit down and chop it up. And then the biggest thing is like, well, I got work and everything else like that. Like, is it paid? It's like, I need to make some money. It's like, no.
Well, like I said, when I was doing my MPN internship, I had a part-time job.
Yeah. Like that's up to you. You don't make your problems my problems when you're trying to benefit from us.
Right.
Like you're asking us to come in and learn.
Yeah, you're not unique.
We're not trying
to tell you you're not unique.
Honestly, if we're like, yeah, you can learn from us, like it costs this much for you to come in. And like, here's what I would do. Like, yeah, sure. You get one call a week. We can start with this. Like you get one 1-hour call a week, right? And I'll charge you $500 a month.
Yeah.
$500 a month. And you get 4 hours of calls in a week. And you can book that time based on my calendar and your calendar. And then we'll go through it. I'll give you access to our library. And there you go. I mean, this is a good idea, actually. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do that. That way, if they don't want to put
about 20 minutes in, okay, we need a timestamp. Don't forget this.
Yeah.
Put a bookmark somewhere.
20 minutes in, like, yeah, we're going to bookmark this spot. But it's like, yeah, if you don't want to do the coaching hours on the floor, I think that's the most beneficial part is like be on the floor, coaching people, reading the programs, learning what the execution looks like. That's like the big benefit. Like, yes, I think the thing is like, interns think the curriculum is shiny. Like, oh, look at all these charts and graphs and knowledge, but they have no idea what it looks like in real time.
Yeah. If you just want to be an online coach, that's probably all you need.
Yeah.
But guess what?
You wouldn't even know if it's working though.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, it's like the real benefit is you coming in and being on the floor, observing, helping, assisting, and leading some things. Right. And that's a trade-off. If you're willing to come in and work the hours on the floor, then you don't have to pay. Like we'll carve out time of our day to help you learn. Your intern is carving out time of your week to help us and assist us and learn from us.
Yeah.
But if you simply just want access to curriculum and ask questions, then all right, here, $500 a month.
Yeah.
And you have an hour of my time a week. We'll sit down, we'll go through, you get access to the curriculum and you can ask any questions you want on it. Go for it. Like videos, demonstrations, whatever you want, case study materials, go ahead. You get one call a week. We'll go through it. That way it lines up the curriculum and you're good to go. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll put like a little 12-week package for new coaches if they want to learn from us and learn from the curriculum that we run with our athletes. But, that's the frustrating part is when these new coaches are, like, I have to get paid to do this. Like, I'm like, you don't offer any value in terms of the profession right now.
And that's kind of what my define your worth kind of statement was kind of say inspired by.
Yeah. It's like, I think my house is worth $10 million, but the market's paying $300,000.
Yeah, but like, well,
sorry, the market says you're worth $300,000. Okay, the house is worth $300,000. I don't care how you feel about it. It's like, you haven't done
Put up
anything.
for 310 and say a prayer, maybe.
Yeah.
You might get lucky.
Yeah. It's like, if you're a new coach, like, the reality is you haven't done a lot of coaching. You haven't done enough.
Yeah.
You haven't done enough things on your own to learn from your own experiences. You haven't done enough to make enough mistakes and be like, maybe I'll do it this way instead of this way. And all of a sudden you have your own little case studies going on. Like, I tried this and this works better for this. Now you learn, right? And that's the whole point of trying to reach out to colleagues or people like that are doing the great things. You're like, okay, I can learn from their mistakes and do what I'm trying to do accelerated versus if I found out on my own.
And that is the value.
Yeah. It's accelerating my ability to get from point A to point B. Like, think about it. If you stay in the coaching game long enough, you'll probably get from point A to point B. The whole point is, can I get there faster than what I'm currently at trend at now? Can I get there at a faster projection than I am now, right? If
can my point B look better than it would have? Yeah.
Yeah. Can I accelerate my trajectory to point B and make it look better in less time? And by doing that, like, well, I have to invest my resources to go and do those things. I have to invest my time to learn. I have to invest my money to actually hear these people speak and hear their resource and everything else like that.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a, a good way to kind of put a big circle around the whole paid internship thing. But I think I wanted to talk about the differences between now, a different topic. We were talking about exertion versus effort. And we were relating it back to how we use velocity-based training and how we also consider the subjective feel of the athlete, right? Because I know in our last conversation, we're talking about VBT and how we kind of use ranges, percent drop-offs. And I just want to kind of clarify some things too. A lot of times when using VBT, right? Like, let's say you didn't see the numbers on the screen. You might feel a certain, like, I could have got like a couple more reps in my tank. I could have got like 2 more, maybe 3 more, 4 more. And then you kind of look at the speeds you're hitting on your last reps and you're like, okay, so your last rep, finished at whatever the speed is. That typically might correlate with this percentage, which typically correlates with you might have been able to get X amount more reps or not. And I think by using both the exertion and the effort model, if you want to call it that, you kind of fine tune feeling with the, you're fine tuning their exertion perception with the actual honest effort put behind every rep.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's a combination of both. And if you kind of use both, you might be in a better position to get more purposeful gains, if you want to call them that. Because now they're more in tune intrinsically with this felt like this. And
I was going to say we're building more in tune athletes, which is only going to be so valuable for the athletes, especially when they go back to school and we're not there with them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think they have a greater sensitivity to what change feels like, and they can tell if it's faster, slower, or not good.
Yeah.
Right. Versus like just kind of going through the motions, like, oh, I grind out the reps. Like, yeah, but that's not the point. You know what I mean? Like they're getting a more, I want to say, hypersensitive to change. So it's like, okay, that's actually a good thing. You can feel, like a small crescendo of something different. Like, you pick up on that. It's like a different frequency that you can pick up on that now lines up with, hey, like, you can feel if you jumped high or not. Like a lot of jump sport athletes, they can tell, oh, that was a good jump. I felt good about that one. Right. People that run, they can tell, I felt fast doing that.
Yeah.
When it comes to like moving low at a speed that's required, they don't know what that feels like.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think helping kind of bridge that gap between exertion and effort, and you combine both of them in the prescription, now they can see like the parallel, like, okay, I felt like this, but actually this was moving this way. I should have even more than I thought, or like, oh, I overshot. I thought I had more, but I only have less. Right. So I think, kind of helping athletes learn more about the difference between exertion and effort and how they kind of, parallel each other. Like, it's the same North Star. It's just, we're kind of using 2 different lenses to kind of get us closer there. Right.
Yeah, totally.
But
And the more frequently those 2 lenses match up, like I said, the more empowered athlete you are building or developing, right?
Mm-hmm. I agree. Welcome to Iron Performance Center, Niagara's home for real personal and performance training. We're a community obsessed with building durable, explosive, game-ready humans. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just training that works. From athletes chasing scholarships, to pros chasing championships, to regular people who just want to feel strong, move well, and stay built for real life. If you're willing to work, you're our people. Our system is simple: smart programming, elite coaching, and a culture that pushes you to levels you didn't know you had. With modern technology and principles-based programming, we track your progress, teach you movement skills, and give you every tool you need to perform when it matters most in whatever arena you call home. Iron Performance Center, because performance matters. I agree. I think this is good for young athletes too, especially now.
And that's why people say, oh, like, you shouldn't be using VBT with young athletes. I'm like, oh, quite the opposite. You shouldn't be using you shouldn't be using like systems like omni contraction, like a lot of tempo with young athletes. They just got to learn how to lift. What's the best way to learn how to lift, people? Tempos. You shouldn't be learning using VBT with young athletes. Okay, maybe not if they're in like grade 6 or 8. Yeah, no shit. But some of these young athletes, even like high school, grade 9, grade 10, we're trying to empower them. Like we've said before, we don't want to just train robots. Right? I like how Clint said we want people to be self-sufficient under professional guidance. Mm-hmm. Right? So like I think this is a really good way we can kind of empower them to do that.
Yeah. I would just simply say, look, skill comes first, right? Because really VBT it won't really match up anyway. Like it's not you're gonna get messy speeds and everything else. And you won't know, like if you're simply just looking at the speed, you're never gonna know what load you're supposed to hit because they're so sporadic. You won't even know what's what.
Right.
Right. Like let's just kind of build the competency first in a certain skill of an exercise and then pick the ones that make sense for it. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to do a VBT bicep curl if you don't want to. It's more just like, hey, if you're trying to teach them to squat, you're trying to teach them to, drop bar deadlift, you're trying to teach them how to lunge or, bench press or press or whatever, make sure they're relatively competent at that skill first. And then you can start tracking the speed. And then you can start like kind of, killing two birds with one stone. They get to learn the skill under load. And then they could also kind of feel what the load speed is at the same time. Like, oh, that was hard, but it felt like, the bar moved this way. It felt like I got this. Now you're kind of like having all these different avenues where now they're becoming a more intrinsically, driven athlete where they can pick up on all these sensations and correlate it to something that's effort, right? Like they're picking up on their exertion level. Like I feel, they're subjective feedback. I feel this, I'm tired. I felt slow. I felt this, but now we're correlating it to, well, actually it moved this, assuming the reps are good. It moved like this. That might actually mean I got more, or actually I overshot. I got to do less. Right. A good example is like, okay, Charlotte was doing the bench today and she did really well. But her first couple of sets, I'm like, okay, like, you put the VBT on, like warming up just to kind of see. And the speeds were so consistent because I think now like she changed her technique, right? Instead of like hitting a straight line bar pathway, it was like trying to bounce it, shifted something, and all of a sudden the speeds are going slower and slower and slower. And you're like, okay, let's just kind of dial it back a little bit. Let's just focus on clean reps. 1, take a breath. 1, take a breath. 1. Okay, now it's more consistent. Great. That's the pattern I want you to follow. The speed on it. Now this means something.
Right? Ironically, sometimes when you do that, the speed goes up.
Yeah.
It actually gets faster with the same load when you actually,
Right. I think, and they like it. The varsity athletes tend to like it because now I think I was even talking to Lauren this morning. She's like, I really like this cycle. I like this phase. I like what we're doing with this because now you make it quantifiably, I guess. I don't know if it's a word. You make it easier to find a win because you can quantify it.
Yeah, totally.
Right. You can quantify the win. So you don't have to you're not just working, driving blind all the time. Like it's not just adding more weight. Like you're not going to max out every day. Right. But the way you do move, it moves faster. That's your win of the day. And even if it doesn't, you can make up the win of the day later on. Like, okay, like my initial test rep was a little bit slower than last time. That's okay. Go down, but you're still working the right speed range. So we'll forget the load. Let's just see if we can get more reps at this speed range. And if we can sustain that, that's still a win from last week. Like there's so many ways to get the wins now and quantify it where like, okay, and then you can measure the progress better. And you can say, okay, based on our history, actually you move this faster here or here or here. Now we can do a drop from here. So it makes it easier for them to kind of grasp a win of the day. It's like they know what they're chasing for that day. It's not just like, hey, here's our like North Star for the cycle. Right. It's like here's the target for the day. Like here's how we get the win today, regardless of how you're feeling. Here's how we get that win. And It's easy to quantify. They're not shooting blind. And I go back to saying it's good for young athletes to start to get introduced to that because a lot of the young athletes, like for example, we had a couple young volleyball players last night, right? They finished their workout in like 40 minutes, maybe 35, 40 minutes. I'm wondering to myself, like, how'd they get through it so fast? Right. Again, maybe they're this kind of taking less time to recover, but that tells me a couple of things. Okay. If you're able to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you're probably not giving as much as you can. Right. I think they're misguiding effort and exertion. Right. So it's okay. Something's not lining up here because based on prescription, the tempos have to be done accurately. The load has to be relatively appropriate for whatever the prescription is. And if you're able to bounce back and forth, we're not really mastering anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? I found that problem too. I think they had whatever it was 9 exercises or 8 exercises and they're bouncing back and forth, but they're not really mastering any of them.
8 exercises plus a warm up should easily take an hour.
Yeah. So
with
it's like,
tempos and all that. Yeah.
Right. They're all supersetted, but it goes back to like, okay, maybe for this particular group, we have to single series it. Like, hey, you're only going to squat, you're only going to hinge, and you're going to do superset press pull or whatever it is. Yeah. And I need you to do like 4 to 6 sets now. So you really get comfortable here. I think that was a problem. I'm like, okay, these are some changes I think we're going to have to make, because a lot of the younger ones are rushing through it and they're not mastering anything. And now I think they're thinking like, yeah, I did it. I did, check the box. Here's like, yes, but, and I explained to them, like, it's not what we're doing. It's how we're supposed to do it. That's what's going to get us to that next level. It's the intent behind what we put in everything we're doing. And while you did what you were told to do and what you're, prescribed to do, we're not doing it how we would expect to do it for your level, right? And again, there's a learning curve. There's some learning involved, but they also have to grasp and understand that learning curve. They have to be open to learning and being, oh, okay. So it's like, yes, you maybe thought you did right. That's fine. But it's like, nothing was wrong. It's just, it wasn't enough of one thing, whether it's exertion or, the effort, whatever it is, you're chasing. But we have to kind of master that. Like, let's get more in tune with that. So, when to push, like, hey, I feel like I do more. Great. Then don't wait for me. Let's find out. Like, the whole point is we're trying to find truth in every day. It's like, hey, what are you capable of? Let's go find out today. Right? What are you capable of today? I feel this, I feel that, whatever. Let's go find out what we're capable of in this moment to win this moment here with this prescription. Do your best in that versus just showing up and just checking the box. Right. And this is more for like younger athletes. If you're like a seasoned athlete and everything else, like there's days you just want to like do some schoolyard bullshit, go for it. Like, you're moving around, you just need someone to feel good. Absolutely. But in terms of this example, in this context, we need them to understand, like, and become a little bit more tactical with how we're approaching learning the exercise and the prescription behind it and the effort that's expected behind it. Right. But I think, eventually getting them introduced to speeds might help them be more, you want to say, motivated, I guess.
I mean, the nice thing about the speed is, like, we could argue, what are the best qualities of any athlete? Any good athlete, any elite athlete? They're strong, they're fast. No, they're confident and they're competitive. Like, to be honest, yes, you have to be fast to play any sport. You have to be strong. You have to be explosive. You have to whatever. But the best athletes are confident and competitive. So we build confidence here in the weight room, right? By pushing to levels we didn't think we could reach before. And then I think by being competitive, it's good when you're in a team setting, you're competing in the sense that maybe you're all in the same program. You're trying to lift more than the next guy or the next girl. But obviously here we take a personalized approach where everybody gets their own program. So the competition aspect comes, I think, through many things, but especially that VBT now. They see that number, they're motivated to compete all summer, right? I think that's like a mental muscle that people don't really realize that we're also training, as well as we're training the health, the performance, all that stuff. Yeah. But I think the best athletes are confident and competitive. And that's like one really good way we can foster that.
Yeah. I think it's a double-edged sword though, because sometimes they still go, damn, like it's slower than last time. Damn. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but that's going to happen in the game. So good.
Yeah.
What do you want to do about it?
Yeah.
Right?
They have to learn, like, okay, so that's,
yeah, punch in the mouth. Good.
Adapt.
Like, you don't just win every set, right? Every play, every whatever.
Like, we don't PR every day, man.
And you don't score every shift.
Yeah, we don't
PR fucking get a kill every. You know what I mean? So good.
I think it's just like, hey, take a step back and put it in perspective. If it's good, hey, if the iron's hot, strike. If it's not, firing all cylinders today, that's okay. Dial it back and let's work the plan in that range that we have, right? Like, that's the whole point. It's a range. You work within it, right? If you're on the top end, push. On the low end, pull back. That's fine. Overshoot, undershoot, find the middle ground, right? Like, that's the whole point.
Exactly. And that teaches you how to compete.
Yeah.
And you don't, like I said, you don't win on every shift in a hockey game. You don't, every set in a volleyball game, you don't win either, right? You got to learn what do you want to do about it? Okay. So I think with the speed, when you don't get the speed you wanted or whatever, it's the same thing.
Yeah. It's
just another opportunity all summer to practice that mental muscle that, hey, you didn't get what you wanted. What do you want to do about it?
Yeah, I agree. I think it teaches them a lot of things. But I think it's a good learning curve for them. And I would encourage any coaches that have access to it to take advantage of it. And I'm finding myself just putting more things over the summer for them to be competitive about. Yeah. Now, regardless if it works or not, it's another story. Like, I like throwing in for volleyball players, basketball players, the approach jumps.
Yeah.
Right? Because in volleyball, like, they have like this negative connotation to it, right?
Yeah, they become neurotic.
They become neurotic about it. And you're just like, okay, and they only test it a few times a year. So I like doing it on the jump mat. It's an old 90s technology piece.
Yeah.
It's not about the validity of it.
It's not the point. In that context, it's not the point.
Right? It's literally just an opportunity, like, hey, I'm going to throw some approach jumps. Why? Just for you to compete. Like, you get 5 to 10. Like, I put on the prescription, like, your first series, your A block after warm up is literally just do 5 to 10 approach jumps and just take the best one you like. You can kill it after 5. You can kill it after 6. You can go just no more than 10. But if you're feeling, just go for it. Like, I don't care about the number. It's just you compete against yourself, or if like people are doing it at the same time, compete against each other. If you want to cheat jumping on the mat, sure, go ahead and cheat. Like, whoever cheats best wins. I don't care. It's more just like,
in that context, it's great.
Yeah, find a way to, like, you put some like guardrails up, but like, you get work creatively and fun within it. Like, no different than how we have our whether doing intensive plyo complexes or velocity complexes. Like, I have like a tennis ball sprint. So like, well, what do? I'm like, anything, just throw the ball. You could say, I want to like catch off 1 bounce. I want to catch off 2 bounce. I want to throw off the wall. I want to start backwards, throw it behind me and, jump and turn and sprint. I want to start sideways from the ground, throw it and get up. It's like the whole point is like, you're literally just doing a tennis ball chase.
Yeah.
Get creative and have fun with it just to fire you up. Right?
For the same reason I already said, you're just competing.
Yeah.
Find different ways to be in different body positions, different situations, and just compete and be a problem solver. To be honest, that's another big thing, right? With athletics, being a problem solver.
Yeah. I think I enjoy putting those in. Sometimes they'll still become neurotic over like, damn it, I didn't hit my approach. I was like, well, that's not the point. You know what I mean? And that's why I agree, like doing the approach jumps in the Vertec, if you're going to, program in is like a better accurate, transfer for them because that's what they're tested on. But at the same time, like they're too neurotic with it. It's like sometimes like, well, I don't want them to feel that way all the time because then that sets the tone for the whole day. If that's all they're thinking about, it's like, I didn't touch
That's
higher.
a problem. It's always in the A block.
It's
because it has to be.
You know what I mean? So you're like, damn it. Okay. Like this is really going to set the tone for the rest of the workout. So like, honestly, get off the Vertec, do on the jump mat. Why? Because you're not getting tested on the jump mat. Who cares?
Yeah.
Have fun as you jump aside. The funny thing is, if it gets better after week after week after week, you're like, damn, all right, my approach jump on the jump mat's okay. Well, if you're able to jump more and like assuming you're cheating the same way, if you're able to get more on the jump mat, then I'm likely you're probably that went up too. Like,
and I still think actually it's going to be a really good teaching tool because as we know, most people will have an error on the approach jump of coming too horizontal, right? To keep it simple. And with the jump mat, you can't because you literally will not land on the mat and you won't register a number. So I think it's going to teach the kids actually better than running at the Vertec, like actually to get up and actually land with a reasonable bandwidth, right?
Yeah, it's a skill on itself. Like they have to have like horizontal brake and momentum propulsion into vertical plane. There's a lot of skills to it and they don't really teach it. It's kind of, it's teach to teach. At the same time, you also have the horsepower to like brake really quickly and transition it really rapidly to propel.
Yeah.
Right. And if you have all the physical tools, it's literally just practicing the skill. I'm like, okay, here, we're going to try to do this better, like fast arm swing, right? To brake really hard, spring you off the ground. So there's a lot of like technicalities to it, but it's like, what's the simplest way we can just kind of make it competitive and like have them in the same plane? It's like, okay, jump mat. You have to take off and land on a target. You need to run up, you're running horizontally to whatever it is, like a 2.5 or 3 foot by 3 foot, whatever. Let's say 2 feet.
It's not huge.
Yeah. Let's just say 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet. Right. Square. So you have to step and land on it. So, okay, great. So same concept. Stop yourself from going horizontally, propel upwards and land. Like, and just take the best one. Like there's no prescription for it. It's like our extensive plow complex. I just put a time of like, yeah, here, spend about 20 to 30 seconds on each of these drills. Get creative with it. I want you to bounce around here, bounce around this direction, bounce around 1 leg, 2 leg. You can do whatever direction you want. Add some flair to it. Do like some spins. I don't care. Like just be creative, right? Get your idea to be creative and move in different directions, right? I remember like during the season, some volleyball teams, like we're doing like the approach jumps over the hurdles. Like, yeah, like, if you're clearing these things, go ahead. You can go load them up. You could take off further away. You could do like a 180 in the air. I don't care. Like have fun with it. Just, it's them putting max effort into something and being competitive, right? Making like a game thing out of it, which I think is a huge plus if you can do that. Because again, I know some of these things can be mundane and boring, but we know the boring work leads to great results, but we can still find ways to make things competitive, right? Like the approach jumps, some jump mat or tennis ball sprints, but then also with the barbell work, it's like, hey, try to beat these speed ranges, like try to be a speed buster, try to like stay above this range for an extra rep than you did last time. Like it's just finding little ways to quantify competitiveness. But I think those are all tools in our toolbox we can use. And the funny thing is like, what I think it was yesterday. What was it? I think Rome was doing, I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was yesterday. I can't remember, but either way, there's like 4. Oh, there's John Luca. There's John Luca. He was doing a velocity day. It's 4 extras. It's 4 series, A, B, C, D. That's all he has to do. Took an hour, but the A block was like a complex. Like, hey, I want you to do some bounds, some skips. You know what I mean? Like 3 rounds of this little velocity, like essentially sprint warm up. Your B series was like, you're going to do a 5x15 flying sprint, right? 5-yard build, 5-yard fly, 15-yard sprint, right? X amount of sets of that. Timed. And then he did power cleans, right? Until he hit a certain cutoff. And then he did box squats until he hit a certain cutoff. That was it. That's it. 4 things, but with maximal intent, feeling good and hitting his ranges. It's like, that's all. That was good for the day. That took you an hour. We got our sprint doses in, right? Good speed. We had our cleans, good strength speed stuff. And we did our box squats, like, hey, hammering above like 0.75, whatever it was. I'm like, and just stay as many reps in that range as you can. Simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, done. That's a solid day, right? But it was intentful and it was competitive. He was competing, right? You had the timing gates on, like try to beat this from next time. Don't let it drop. Cleans, like, hey, try to hover above this. Don't miss twice. Box squat. How many reps can you get staying in that range? Oh, you only got 7 this time. Last time you got 8. He's just competing. He's like, that time I got 10. It's like 4 simple things, all with a competitively, like quantifying competitiveness to himself. That was it.
That's the point I'm trying to make before about how valuable that is with the competitive nature actually throughout the training.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to think of some fun rapid fire questions I had. Okay, here's one.
I suck at these because I always got to give context. Like, fuck. Okay, go ahead. I'll try not to.
All right, force plates or timing gates?
Force plates.
Why?
Simply because of the number and variety of metrics you can kind of derive from it. And the thing is, there's a lot of metrics on there that will strongly correlate. I'm not going to say causation, but strongly correlate to the fact that you got faster or you should be faster. Whereas like the timing gates literally only tell you you got faster. Yeah, there's just like so much more potential on the one, which can also kind of tell you what probably is happening on the timing gate versus the timing gate only tells you one thing, as valuable as that thing is. And I would say, arguably, the timing gate doesn't have nearly as much application to things like rehab, like where you can use force plates for performance, rehab, like a lot of different things. I would say, like, I'm not saying there's no value in doing timing gate for rehab, but like I think it's kind of undeniable to say that like you're going to get a lot more valuable information from the force plates with rehab and then obviously performance.
So then if you had to pick between sprinting or jumping, you only pick one to test. Which one are you going to pick?
Well, jumping for the same reason. Yeah, I think if I said sprinting, it would kind of just be kind of pissing down my leg. Like I think it would have to be jumping for that reason. Yeah. Because again, a lot of those metrics are highly correlated to you probably got faster type thing. So
I was gonna say force plates for the reason that it's just more standardized and easier. It's easier to standardize it across a variety of people that might not have experience sprinting.
Also true, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just the ease of use. Yeah. It's like, hey, put your hands and hips, just jump as high as you can. Like whatever your pattern is, right? And that'll kind of work itself out. I find like setting up the speed gates a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Putting them at different heights, you might get a skewed answer. Doing the Usain Bolt at the end, you might get a different answer. It doesn't matter what you do in the first place.
That is like the bane of my existence when I see guys, I got 10, 20 testing. I'm like, fuck.
That's what I've said to you. Pros and cons. Like there's a lot of cons, but it would be nice to find a way to mount it into the wall.
Yeah.
And that would save us, some time, but there would be some cons to it, no doubt. But
yeah, it's like, well, you have to get enough gates where like every 5-yard line had a.
And the portability would be tougher if we had to go do a combine remotely, but the pros would be like when someone says, okay, I got to set it up, no big deal. Just put the reflectors out, turn it on.
Yeah. I mean,
pros and cons.
Currently I have like the dashers set at like the 5-yard.
I did see that. Yeah.
And the 10 or 50. So I just moved the one. That for me has been great because I'm like, okay, if I just need to test it quickly, I just turn them on. They're already set. Like I literally put them.
But we are spoiled that we have multiple different kinds of fucking gates too. Like a lot of people.
Ironically, we had more gates, like a different brand. I think these ones have a magnet on them, so it might be easier to like snap some. So literally, if I just put like metal plates on the wall where the lines would be.
Oh, yeah, right.
They might. I don't know. Again, this is just, I don't know what they look like. But like if the magnet's on the bottom, it won't work. But if it's like the magnet could be on the side or whatever like that, you might be able to put the magnet on the gate here and you just keep the lens over here. And that way you just turn it on or off or like stick it somewhere else.
I have to fact check this. If the back of if any one back post of the squat rack lined up exactly with a yard marker.
Yeah.
And you can just put it right on the freaking squat rack on the back.
Yeah.
Why not? And then to your point, and then you just would have to set up the reflector, I guess.
That'd be great.
Yeah. That would be like a really welcome accident, eh?
Yeah. I would just choose force plates for that same reason. It's just I think it's easier to teach really quickly and they can pick it up really quickly and it makes it easier to standardize.
And a lot of things on there will lead to, hey, you probably got faster, or at least you have the physical qualities to do so.
Yeah.
Versus like the speed can't tell you almost anything that's on the force plate. Really.
I think it's too much. Yeah, that makes sense. So I would go with jumping versus sprinting for that same reason. What do you think is the most overrated metric?
Overrated metric. Your jump mat fucking height. Your jump mat height PR. As much as I do love it and I see the value, like you can cheat it.
Yeah.
Force plates, you cannot cheat. People that don't understand what that means is like when you jump off the jump mat, all it really knows is when you left and when you return home. So if you pull your knees up in the air, do a tuck jump, land with your ass on your heels, like at the bottom, it's going to be an inflated number. Whereas the force plate will tell you based on your exit velocity, among other things, what your projected height was on your jump. So you do all those same things in the air. It doesn't matter. You cannot affect the outcome of the jump. So the jump mat is amazing. But if you're the coach out there that's selling kids on, hey, you put on 14 inches on your vert this year, like you're just lying to them to make money, and that's whack.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, I had a different answer. But to your point, I think the jump height itself is a little overrated. And I think it's because it doesn't tell you how we got there. I think we need to look at the jump height and look at the secondary metrics underneath it to see how we got there, and not just compare, oh, you jumped higher. It's like, yes, but what are we comparing it to? Like the depth, again, how was the depth? I don't know. What was the duration? You know what I mean? Like all those little small things, like, okay, well, how did we get there? Is it standardized there?
Yeah.
And what does this mean for that athlete? So I think if you just look at one thing, you're like a jump height, I'm like, well, I think it's useful as an overall umbrella to kind of like gauge something, but it doesn't tell the whole story.
Better than nothing because it's easy to understand.
It's easy to understand. Like you jumped higher, great. Right. It's like, yes, but your takeoff time was slower or whatever. It depends what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right. So I think there just has to be like a little bit of questions or curiosity, like how did we get there? Like what led to that?
Right.
And does that mean something? I was going to say some of the in-body stuff, because I think it's useful, but I think it's also has to be very specific with like the consistency by which you kind of do it. And that's harder to control for a lot of people.
I was going to say that the in-body is like the, okay, perfect. The in-body is like the force plates, where it allows us to take a deeper dive than ever before, but there are primary and secondary metrics. So in this case, sure, apples to apples, the in-body is much better than just having a body weight scale. The force plates are much better than just having a jump mat. But without context, it's kind of useless to use the in-body and, different times of day, different hydration levels, different food intake, different caffeine intake are going to wildly skew the numbers that you see on your in-body printout. No different than different counter movement depth, eccentric duration, stuff like that will, of course, influence your jump height. And without keeping those things in context, it kind of becomes useless, right?
Yeah, I agree. Like that's the one thing is, athletes with their in-body scan, now they're getting more like body composition records, which we're seeing some great increases in certain things, but we're always just trying to like put it into perspective. Like, okay, it's like what time of day, what'd you eat and everything else? Like, did you do work, something you practiced last night? Because all these things will have an impact on the reading.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's 100 things: hydration level, food intake. Have you had a bowel movement? Like, what time of day is it? All these things. Because, and when we got it, like, Aiden had more experience with it than you or I, so he was kind of educating us on it, and he's telling us some of the factors, like, hey, okay, you have to be hydrated, but ideally no caffeine, ideally no food, like all. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like, how much do these things really matter? So I said, okay, I'm gonna do two extremes just on my own self and see the difference. So after a full work day, normal eating, obviously I train, normal hydration, obscene amounts of caffeine, that's a standard. I did my scan right before I went home. This is like last year, right when we got it. And I said, okay, tomorrow morning I'm going to come in and I'm going to do all the rules properly and see the difference. So I got up in the morning, I drank like a BioSteel or something, trying to be hydrated, no caffeine yet, no food. I came in and did the scan, and in the morning I was like 3% fatter, which is massive, right? So at that point I was like, okay, Aiden, you're right. Like these rules really do matter, because we put somebody through a training cycle and we just measure them at whatever time, and like they've actually made progress, but just because they did different timing of their scans, they think that they got like fatter or their muscle went down. Like that is not going to be received well. Yeah. So that's when I really was like, okay, if I was going to be an evening measuring guy, then I would always have to be an evening measuring guy, which is nice. On the printout, you get the time of day, because most days, I probably eat the same thing or close enough, or I always got to be a morning guy. But like essentially my own experience there really validated what Aiden was saying. Like Aiden was kind of teaching us, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it's important, but like how important is it really?
No, it matters.
Somebody came and did a 3-month training block with us, whatever their goal was, and they came back and they said, oh, I lost muscle and gained 3% fat, right? I was like, oh, okay, that would not be received well.
Yeah. So I think I think it has to be put in perspective like really early on. Like, okay, like if we're doing this, like because it's it has to be so finely attuned. It's like doing a research study. Like you have to qualify so many things before you even like validate the results.
Yeah. How many extraneous variables can we exclude or prevent? Like like I said, having the force plates are better than just a jump mat, but you have to understand the underlying, like the primary, secondary metrics. Yeah. Having the in-body is way better than just having a scale. But again, you have to understand the underlying secondary metrics. And like Aiden's been teaching us, like how to measure and compare the hydration levels and how that will affect the number that you're seeing, right? All these kind of different things. Yeah.
Do you think most athletes need a personalized program?
No, because you said the word need. No, they don't need, because I think a lot of kids just need to work a lot harder and they'll probably get some results. But like in a perfect world, should they all have a personalized program? Yeah, I do. Yeah. But because you said the word need and that's an absolute, okay, I guess arguably no.
I think just defining personalized.
Yeah.
I think personalized. I think if people see, like there's frameworks and skeletons, and believe it or not, I agree. I don't think they need a personalized program. I would argue like it's more about the execution of the program you're doing.
Yeah.
If it has a theme and an emphasis, if you do those things well, I think a personalized program means like, hey, if you have like this cycle you're running, like, hey, I think 4 of my 5 volleyball players should be in this cycle. Like this fits their archetype.
And time of year
and the time of year.
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
okay, great. Based on that time of year. What I'm now doing, what makes it personalized is I might choose different exercises that fit their constraints to achieve the same outcome.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you're going to do back squat today because it's how you're built. You might do front squat on this. You might not do this at all. You might go and do this that hits the same effort because you can't do this or you're not good at this yet. Right. So I think that's like the personalized. You have like a big framework and then you're changing certain things or certain prescriptions. It's like, well, I'm doing the same thing as they are. I'm like, oh, I have the same schemes or the same color. It's like, but it's not always the same. Even if it's identical, it's like, but how you're going to do it's going to be different. Or like you might be close enough where it's like, yeah, if you just hit these things really hard, you might be good too. Right. So I think it's just redefine what personalized is, right? It's like, I think it's taking a framework and just adjusting things as needed for the person. Like, okay, this fits their current constraints. Am I trying to address root issues or am I trying to work around issues and to get an outcome? Right. So I think that's where like, I think personalized, like, oh, I'm going to do a whole different exercise.
That's the thing.
I'm
the answer is like, hey, yes, but not as much as you think.
Yeah. I'm going to do a whole, like, well, you're still going to squat, hinge, press, pull, jump, line, carry. You're doing all those things.
There's
still.
no wheels being reinvented here.
Yeah. We're not reinventing wheels here. It's just the execution of which you're doing it and the tools that you're probably going to need to do it. Right. So I think it's kind of just reframing what personalized means. Okay. I think this segment's called One Must Go. Okay.
Like get rid of something, you mean?
Yeah, to get rid of something.
Yeah, right
so there's 4 options. First one. All right. So one must go. Squat, deadlift, bench, clean. That's a good one, actually.
Deadlift because it's my worst of the 4. Like that's just my personal bias. Straight up. Deadlift because I like them, but I'm not good at them. Which is really the backwards mentality what I should have. I suck at something, you probably doing more, but I'm gonna say deadlift.
I was gonna say bench press.
Because you suck at it. Come on!
Not terrible at it. Not terrible at it. I'm thinking like big picture. I'm like, I'm like, well, I get my I like my lower body stuff. And I think, I'm not getting rid of clean.
You can't have 4 things with no press. Come on, or 3, I guess.
I'm just saying, I'm getting rid of, hey man, I'll get a big back from deadlifting. I'll get over the chest part. Like my wings are good. I like that shit. I'm getting rid of the fucking bench press if I had to. All right, next one. One must go. Force plates.
I'm not that bad at the bench.
No, you're not. I'm not fucking terrible at it. Not Aiden. I don't know how fucking Aiden lifts so much on bench.
Aiden's bench is fucking unreal, dude. Shout out Aiden.
Insane.
And yeah. Anyway, it's good.
It's one of those, what we call it, like closet fucking strong guys. Like shit, you never know.
Like sleeper bench or something.
Sleeper bench.
I mean, give him his flowers. He's fucking pretty jacked.
Yeah.
But he's just not like a big stature guy. So
yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, it came out of nowhere. He's fucking all motor units are firing.
Yeah, no doubt.
One must go. Force plates, timing gates, VBT, GPS.
I don't know if the crowd can hear like the explosions happening next door.
For those that maybe heard that, like the neighbors next door like do some crazy shit.
Okay, so my own naivety or ignorance, I guess I'll say GPS because I think we've got a lot of good results without it.
Yeah.
As amazing as it apparently is from what I read and watch and hear, I think it is a bit of a pain in the ass too to manage and set up and it can't be a cloudy day and here we're like training 99% of the time indoors and like there's another whole element of pain in the ass that you have to deal with that. So I would say just for our own purposes, GPS.
Yeah. I mean, damn, I'm tied between timing gates and GPS. I want to say
also fair because you would get all the same metrics and more. So fair enough.
I'm debating. I want to say, honestly, maybe I'll say timing gates. I think I'll keep GPS. My thing was going to be like, well, maybe GPS is reactive, but at the same time, if you're wearing them during a game, you can track in real time.
You get way more stuff too. You don't just get the speed, you get the acceleration.
You can see if, it might line up with someone's having a bad day anyway. Like, oh, they're like, or it could be like in real time. You could be like, hey, they hit their deceleration threshold. They're probably likely to burn out, get hurt. Something.
Yeah, super valid. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say timing gates for that reason. I'm gonna say, okay, GPS can give you real time feedback. A lot of.
I probably would change my answer. Yeah. Because you're gonna get the same thing that timing gate can get you, which is speed, but also you get some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
I'm gonna get rid of timing gates. All right, if you had to kill one: hockey, basketball, volleyball, football. Ooh.
Basketball.
Damn.
Football, you came from the list. Like, okay, it's like my first love. Okay. Hockey, grew up playing it, love it. Volleyball, it's been awesome to be around them and train them. Not that I couldn't say that with basketball, but like I just had to pick one. I could barely hit a fucking free throw, so I guess I can't play volleyball either. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I would have to pick football.
I'm gonna say football. At least I love working with jump sport athletes. Number one. I think hockey guys have that mentality, that work mentality.
Yeah.
At least for this region right now, I think football is still youngish or up and coming-ish. You have studs that come out. That's my own personal bias, but I'm going to keep hockey, keep basketball, keep volleyball. I think if we didn't have football, I think that'd be the one that had to go if I'm gun to my head. I think so. Yeah, that was the list. That was a list of One Must Go. That was a pretty solid episode. We covered a lot of topics on that shit.
Yeah, it's a good variety.
That was a good variety of things. People have a little something for everyone if they're actually tuning in and listening to the whole damn thing. But we'll put a bow on that one, folks. Again, this is the Performance Matters podcast. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. Make sure you like and follow and subscribe because we want to keep bringing you weekly content. And that would allow us and help us to do that. And of course, bring on great guests in the near future. Okay. So make sure y'all do that for us. This is Performance Matters podcast. We're tuning out until next time, y'all. Peace.
Peace.